I'll show you guys some tricks with clipping while we're here too. So let's pick the end of the clip first. That's the first thing that I'd recommend is you pick the end of where your clip goes. So that's going to be the end. So maybe when he pops his board in his hand. So you do your end, then go in reverse, and just follow yourself back to the beginning of the clip. Make sure everything looks like you want it to look. So that's probably, the beginning's going to be after this. Okay, so right there, that's probably the beginning. Right? Like that's sick when he's throwing down his board. Okay, so now we have the beginning and the end. Then the next thing that I do is you change it from gameplay to board. And I know that sounds wild, but you're going to see why here in a minute. And what I'm specifically doing right now is setting it up so that you can make it look like a skateboarder who's filming with a fisheye lens on their camera. So the cameraman becomes the filmer in this case with how we're doing it. And it doesn't really matter what side you're on the skater with, because a filmer who's filming on their board will film from any angle, from front, back, even moving around during the shot. You're kind of doing like a moving low drone shot, but the drone in this case would be your filmer. Okay? And there's some really important settings when you're doing that actually. So let's check it out. So for this clip, because we got the one-footed thing, we definitely want to put focus on the board. And I mean, maybe sometimes you'd put focus elsewhere. We already did that. So when you get into this screen, which is the advanced screen, you're going to go to field of view and turn it to 90 and confirm that. And then you are not going to mess with that inside of your keyframes. You're going to keep it on orbit board 90, okay? But then you want to, oh, sorry, I just literally said that and then adjusted it. But then what you want to do is move the camera holding the Y button and then kind of center it where you want. But the tilt up is the most important part. So get close to the skater, down to the ground, like low as possible, without going, you don't want to clip through. If you clip through anywhere, we got to fix that. That's a problem. But getting low to the ground like this looks amazing. Now, I'm doing this at the beginning of the clip, but I'm also going to do a trick at the end of the clip that I'll show you is very important to make like a looping clip. We're going to make this clip loop so that you could upload it to social media and it will seamlessly back-to-back play without any cuts. The cut will be at the beginning and end. So, and I'm going to show you how to design that. Okay, so we can progress a little bit. As you can see, it's right in his shoe, which looks cool as hell, right? Like having it right up in there. You're getting so much action on screen, which it's fun for the eyes. And again, with the fisheye lens, that's really what would be happening in real life. So we're going to come in like this. We got the skater there, but see how we kind of lost sight of him? So we'll add another keyframe. And we're going to do the same thing where we just come kind of, maybe we even come around the side of him a little bit like this, like we're going to focus in on the board as he goes for the thing there, right? So boop, boop, comes down, okay? He moves over, push. Okay, so right here where the pop is probably where I'm going to put my next keyframe. We'll go ahead and leave that one there. But where the pop is, I'm going to actually move. You want to get the most attention possible. So kind of, that's about as tight as it'll let me get. And we don't want to go through the floor, but you do want to tilt down if you can. Okay, and now this is important. Go back to the previous frame. Make sure nobody goes through the floor or anything right here. Ba-ba. And then, and then there's our flip out. But we need, see this action is pretty good, but that's a mess right there. We don't want to clip through that. So right here, for example, see we lose the skater anyway. So we actually want to add a keyframe, move your camera, get it back into order. It's okay to just slightly adjust it using that Y button that I used before. Get it under the rail. Remember, this is where the camera's going to go. So we're going to have the camera go under the rail, and the skater will go over the rail. So check it out. So now with that keyframe in place, boom. Okay, so but that put us to the side of the ledge. So now we need another one that kind of places us up against the ledge, but you don't want that clip on the side. See that little that clipping into the ledge thing is what we don't want. So if we get above it, maybe just slightly, there we go, and then can we tilt down and still get the without the, maybe that's our angle like that. Okay. Right in his booty. Okay, see, and then that was clean. That's clean. You can see everything, all action on shot. We're holding it. We could even get a little closer up in the action as we go, which is totally allowed. If you want to get really, really close to the wheels, you'd do a free camera, and then you can move as close. Oh, what up, Nymphy? I'm in the middle of doing a tutorial on how to do keyframes, so check it out. So we got a good clip, right? And what we're trying to do is showcase how you can turn that clip into something really fucking cool. So we're actually going to end up cutting this part at the beginning because I didn't realize there's a push right here, and that push is probably a good intro. So we'll just see where we end up by the end, but we probably don't need this whole lead into the clip. I guess it's not that bad, but check it out. So far we got this. The real trick is to not let yourself clip through objects with your keyframes. So as it comes up, see how we're just under the rail and just there? If I move even slightly over this way, I'm inside the ledge, or this rail ends up clipping. See what I'm saying? So you don't want that to happen. You want to get, anytime you see that, and then also when you get to an action moment like this, see where that flip's happening? Stop there. See, look, that's so messy. That's so messy. We went from real clean to real messy. I can't tell what's going on. The board looks awesome, but it would look more awesome if we got a little bit back so you just see the action. And again, think of yourself like a filmer. You're right up in the skater's business. And again, that field of view being set to 90 is very important too. You can't, it's behind you on my screen, but see how it says field of view right here behind me? And then I set that to 90 so that it's a wider angle lens. That's super important. And then again, like I said, we'll add a keyframe here where now he's in place. So now we go from one keyframe to the other, and you can see no mistakes in camera. You can see his foot kind of, ooh, I barely landed that one. Wow, we got lucky. If you do a varial flip out, it generally clears on this rail, just so everybody's aware. Okay, but you can see as I'm coming down, I think that this falls good, but as we hit the ground, which is the next action moment, it goes right through the floor. So I need it to be more like this. Readjust your camera. You can even do your keyframe first and then adjust your camera, which is fine. Because sometimes you'll accidentally reset. So sometimes putting the keyframe down, and then you can see as I move, it says update. We can put ourselves right near the floor, but not through it. And then you want to kind of, we don't have to stay like right up in its business, but it's kind of nice if you can. Get the whole skater, get the whole thing. All right, so now we go back. And again, you go slowly from one frame to the other. Nope, we went into the floor again almost as soon as we came out, which means we just need another frame right here that goes up, though. That's all, and come out a little bit. There we go. And see what I'm saying? How you just kind of correct the mistakes it's making just kind of one little bit at a time. And you can stay right up in the skater's business, though. Like, we're not missing anything here. If anything, this action looks amazing, right? And then here, we'll end off. He does a trick here. And that was my ending, right? So we got to make this work. And then we'll probably call this the end right after there, right? Like right after he gets to here will probably be the end. Don't do any of these keyframes yet, though. Do them in order as you go. There's only 2 keyframes that we do out of order. I'll show you. Okay, so as he does this trick, one of the things I like to do, I'll show you, is kind of fun. So we're on the tail, right? And then we go like this. It's fun to give the audience the illusion that they're getting flipped too. So you kind of come this way. Because he's doing a 180, so we'll do a 180 with him, right? Like, if your filmer was this good, that's what they'd totally do. And our filmer, luckily, is locked out of time, so he can do whatever he wants. So right here, we'll do this frame. And then as you go to here, oh, he does another 180. So we can go like this, like that, with it. And again, we're doing this for fun, so it doesn't matter. Boom, boom. You want to do it about every 90 degrees. I promise this will look fun when it's done. It looks even cooler on social media, if you ask me. Okay. Whoop, whoop. So look. Woo. 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 Okay. And now we got to get back to here. Back to where we started. Because that's what he does. He 360s the full way around. So again, tilt him. Move forward. Don't get yourself underneath the floor, but get right up in the business. All right, so now let's go back and watch what we've got so far. Didn't that look cool? See what I'm saying? So far we got like, and again, we're all up in the action, which if you watch any classic skate videos, this is exactly how the best videos look, is right up in it. Not missing anything of the skater. You see the full skater because of the angle we've got. That's a little, see how we're clipping into the floor there? That's the thing we need to fix. The board is causing that. So if we add a keyframe here and come out just slightly. Yeah, and you better be taking notes. How are you today, Nymphy? I hope you're doing great. Thanks for checking in on my skate stream. Every time he pushes, it's pushing us back, so we just got to keyframe it. It's fun to stay right up in his shoes, though. Like, I think that looks cool, too, because they went through all that effort to put graphics on the bottom of the shoe. Let's show it off. Okay, and then we're back to another shot. And see, again, he's out of frame again, which is going to happen. We want the whole skater on the trick, or as much as we can get of him. Let's be reasonable. That arm doesn't need to be there, and we don't want to pop through the floor. So there we go. You love your dog fam? The dog fam, the fog fam. Hell yeah. Not the best Christmas Eve you could be having to not feel well, but... Okay, so again, flip trick, though. Look, you got to be able to see the flip. Got to be able to see the flip. Because, like, that's an amazing flip. Do we want to follow him on that 180? I say we don't follow him on the first 180 to make it like make the audience deceived, and then we follow him on the other ones, and we'll see how it looks, okay? So we let him flip that time. Yeah, we moving. Boom. So now we're following that tail, okay? So as that spins around, we, as the audience, will come around like this. Gives us another view of the skate park. This one might be a little hard to do because we're on the quarter pipe. And so you don't want to like go into it, but we want to be like up and in the business. Let's see how much we can do it. Will this work? Boom. So, whoa. So, and again, we're just trying to not clip. Okay, so there, he started to clip, but we're not going to let him. We're not going to let him. So we're going to go like this. I guess that's the best I can do. Let's see if this will work. Ooh, that's a tight one. See, is there any way we can not show that middle quarter pipe part? That's what we're trying to do. Oh, that was close. We're getting close. Yeah, well, you got to have lots. If you want to make the clip cool, you got to have lots. I can show you how to do first-person mode, too, later if you want. First-person mode's not, like, that hard of a trick. It's just a little one. Okay, so there, that worked. Look, so, boom, whoop, and then whoop. It starts to go down again, so we go back down with him. Okay, so now our roll and tilt is all sorts of off-kilter because he's on a wall. So, but we can get clear down here. So, this is going to look wonky. Again, remember the board's the focus. And right now we're kind of just sending the viewer on a little visual journey. There we go, that. Back up to here. And if you want to, you can actually roll the camera too on that keyframe. I don't know that I would. Let's see, does it work? Does it... nope, there was a cut. What am I... I'm like underneath it right there. There we go. Still a frame of just, there's a frame of a cut. There. And he does that. Okay, so he comes around that, and that's going to be the back of it, and then that will be the end. So this is the important part. Okay, and this is where it starts to get wild. All right. So we're going to do the final keyframe that will be like for the skater. Which that doesn't actually work because let's maybe might actually have to update this one too. Maybe we start like here or higher there. I just want to. I'm trying to stay out of the floor. Oh, so close. I can do one more keyframe and kind of pull in and over. And you'll see why this is important at the end. We're going to do something kind of different to finish up the clip. Okay, so now he pushes, and that push is going to be, I'm actually going to let him push away from me. He's going to skate off, and we're going to do something different. So again, we're going to watch what we got so far. So let's, again, one more time. This is the final watch through. No, watch for clipping. So far, so good. So far, so good. Okay, and then there's our last frame. Okay, and he does a flip trick there. But we're just gonna, the clip's just already long. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like an outro. If anything, maybe we'll like let him, here's what we'll do. We'll let him have his clip, but what we're gonna do is on that push, on that right there, we'll put a keyframe down, but then you hit the X button and go back into advanced. And I know you can't see it because it's freaking behind me. Sorry, but you're gonna change the target, or the camera, the very top one, change it to free, which is the second option, and then hit A. Okay? So now that camera's a free camera, and watch what happens. See, now he skates off. See what I'm saying? That drops the camera. By changing it to free, now we're no longer following the skater. And that's important. Because it doesn't mean the cameraman's not there, but the cameraman's doing a little thing. So see, we let that happen. We'll do that just for fun visual. But then this is how we're going to make it a loop. Is the cameraman is going to, we're doing one more keyframe, and we'll go like this and look at the floor. Okay? And I know that seems weird. Okay? So now watch. And now we go back to the beginning. Go back to these keyframes. Okay? And remember I said we were maybe going to cut this part. So here's what we're going to do. Is instead of where he goes like this to that, he's going to go like this. We're going to change this one again to a free camera, and we're changing its angle to that, down on the ground. Okay? Now do you see what that did? By doing that, we now looped the clip. So now when the clip ends, it'll go down to the floor and come back up, and you start back over again. So for social media purposes, it makes it a tangible clip. I saw a little bit of a clipping there that happened right there at the end when he pushed. So let's see. Well, nope, it goes through his foot there, so we got to go back just slightly and update this one. See what I'm saying? Okay, so is there any clipping there? And this is why you rewatch them before you save it. I'll post this one to social media later so that everybody can see it, and we'll cut it to music and everything, okay? So then you go this. Well, we'll play it one more time. Watch for clips. Watch for clipping. Looking good. Looking good. That's it. Okay, that was beautiful. All right, so now we just go like this. And you hit export. And continue. And that's how you make a EA Skate social media clip. And then from there, I edit them in, oh, what's the program I use? I'll have to look. DaVinci Resolve. DaVinci Resolve is what I use. You can use any editing program you want, though. Oh, that's fun. The little flip around on the quarter pipe turned out fun. See, by taking that effort, it turns out real cool. Yay! GG's.